What?
Oh, I gotta do my makeup before I get out here too.
What are you talking about? This is what I look like at work. This is what I serve at work. Period. Face card never decline.
Girl, please.
Presented all the time. First of all. Anyway, how are you?
Okay,
I see you getting lean.
a little bit. Trying,
You know what I'm
trying.
saying? I see a little forearm, little strangulations coming in. You know
You
what I'm
know,
saying? You know, so reading
you
braille.
know,
I see the little braille word coming in. You know what I'm saying? Read the text.
yeah, it's happening.
Okay.
Look,
I see the svelte coming in. You know what I'm saying?
you see it. That's what a haircut do, huh?
Clocking T.
Man. What's good?
Okay. Nothing much. Nothing much. Nothing much. So yeah,
How's your day?
it was full. It was full. It was full. And yours? How was yours?
It's cool. It's cool. You know,
That's good.
things are happening. I'm just, rolling with them.
Good. That's good. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Well, today, um, wanted to talk about
Ah, ah, ah.
vulner. What?
Welcome everybody to another
Oh,
episode.
yeah. Welcome everybody back to Harrison and Han, to another episode. I'm Jamie.
Joshua. And for those who don't
Back
know, this is a
for those
discussion.
who don't know. Yeah,
This is a discussion between siblings about anything and everything, mainly relationships, um, trauma, just helping us process a lot of things.
yeah.
So it's just a safe space for both of us, where we're getting things off our chests and able to, hash out our differences because it's very possible to be in the same car and have a different view of, the journey.
Very true. Very true.
So, yeah, as you were.
No, I wanted to actually start putting out our handles like before, so everybody knows it as well. Um, so just in case everybody wants to send us questions or comments or anything like that, our email address is Harrison and Han street st@gmail.com. You can check us out on YouTube. Our channel is Harrison and Han, of course. We also have we have an Instagram page and a Facebook page as well. So, show your support, show your love, and yeah, we go from there.
Yeah, any sponsors, y'all can start sponsoring. You know what I'm saying? Wherever we start is not where we will finish. So, hop on this train right now. Choo choo. But, yeah, go for it.
We love the support. Yeah, so today we want to talk about vulnerability. And today's question, or the question that I would like to pose for you, Joshua,
No, is this
or
tied
our
to anything?
viewers in general.
Is this tied to anything going on in your life? Are you talking about vulnerability, or is this just
No, no, I
okay?
just
Okay.
like I go like throughout the day and throughout the week, or just in general. Like I'll have my notebook with me, and it'll just be like random things that will pop in my head and questions, or things that I've seen or watched, and it'll just spark a question, and I'll just write them down. So, and nothing is particularly tied to me, but it'll just be questions um, that'll pop up. So I'll just write them down, or I'll forget them. So I just
Okay.
like, oh, that's a good question to ask in general to get people's response, and because no, my conversations to myself, that's just my conversations, but you know.
Totally geared from our other conversation we had. That's why I was
Oh
like,
no,
oh,
no,
okay.
no, 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 no. This is
But yeah,
just general questions.
okay.
But the question of today for everybody that's watching is what are the advantages of vulnerability? And how has your past and present experiences tailored your acceptance or refusal of being vulnerable? So, tackling the first question, um, what do you think your what do you think are the advantages of vulnerability,
Jeez,
or
advantages.
advantages or disadvantages?
um, I it's a twofold answer. I think I can
Okay.
because like in the earlier stages of my life, vulnerability was looked at as weakness, and it was yeah, and the weak were like preyed on. So
Hmm.
vulnerability was something that you couldn't really show in a lot of spaces. So it left me honestly feeling more like I don't know. It had me feeling like weird to open up to a lot of people. It felt odd, strange, like So when I
Yeah.
finally did, I would open up a little too much, and and it was just due to me being able to drop my guards and not be so, I guess, guarded. Yeah, I guess guarded
Hmm.
like I be when we were living where we were living back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then as I got older, vulnerability is definitely a strength because um, now that I'm married and have a wife and and are expecting to like build a family with this person, you have to be
Yeah.
somewhat vulnerable in order to like let them know that you're not just this rough exterior, that there is a softer side. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
yeah.
No, I get that. I can agree with that. I guess for me, um, mine's come from a place of, I guess there was a fear of vulnerability in my younger stage because I guess I never saw um the advantages of being vulnerable. I had never seen what healthy vulnerability looked like.
Hmm.
I always just seen people being taken advantage because they were vulnerable.
Hmm.
So it was always like, oh, like you were saying, like you being vulnerable was looked at as being weak because you were taken advantage of people,
Hmm.
and you were usually left hurt. So there was no you weren't reaping any kind of reward by being vulnerable. But now that I'm older, I've seen little glimpses of people being in healthy situations or just in general, um, being vulnerable and being in a comforted environment where they can flourish, and that vulnerability being, nurtured and kept safe and respected and, watered. So I think it can be an advantage. When it's acknowledged and when it's when the person who is receiving it sees it and respects that. So
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
I just think it depends on, you have to have really good discernment and know who you're giving it to when that time comes. You have
yeah,
to
yeah,
just really be sure who you're giving that vulnerability to.
yeah. It has to be like nurtured, like properly.
It does. I think, and I do think that people just need to really slow down in regards to, because I know everybody wants to be in that space of being able to release and take that breath to be like, "Ah, I can be vulnerable with
Do
somebody."
they
But
though?
I do think people really do want to be able to experience, because you know it's good to be able to. I think it feels good to be able to be with somebody that you can relax with and say, like, that person really does have my back, or I can be vulnerable with that person. I can let my guard down.
Yeah, I
I
think
I
society,
do know I can have somebody in my corner.
yeah, I think society's made that kind of hard for
They
like
have.
individuals or even couples to be vulnerable with one another just due to the stigmas and everybody trying to live that lifestyle, that Instagram life, that facade, or just trying to obtain an image, trying to make it seem like you're doing better than what you are, or, or just, I don't know. I just know so many people who have a lot but have nothing. And it's just like they have the material things, and then it's just like, but they don't have the substance at home, or they don't have the relationship. And that's why I chose to kind of just focus on other things
Yeah.
because I spent so much time being not being vulnerable and just masking it with certain things.
Yeah.
once I stopped doing that for the most part, I still have pockets where I do sometimes.
Yeah.
As you know, we're all work in progress, but
Yeah.
witness a lot of people still to this day who hide behind a lot of things because they can't fully be vulnerable in their skin because they I don't think that they fear the isolation period, or they fear that the crowd will get smaller.
I mean, I can understand it, and that can be scary. But honestly, I would rather go through that alone than feel empty with a whole crowd around me, than feel empty with somebody.
Yeah,
Because I mean, being alone and actually being alone with nobody near you versus being alone with somebody near you is worse because you have somebody next to you that's supposed to be your partner, and you're also like deteriorating from the inside,
yeah.
trying to live this facade and present this person while you're rotting from the inside.
You ever seen that commercial, or that it's like a scene where somebody's standing still and the world's moving
Hmm.
like fast by them, and everybody's
Yeah.
like, "That's how that feels."
Or that medication commercial where it's just like I don't know if you've seen that one where like they're at this picnic and the lady it's like an anxiety or depression medication and like everybody's laughing and she has like this mask up and it's just like a smiley face but she's like really sad underneath.
Oh wow, no, that's
Yeah, it was like an antidepressant
oh
medication, and
okay.
it's just like, and she's like, everybody's laughing around, and she's just like, it has like a mask, and she's just putting a mask over, but underneath she's really depressed and sad, but
Oh
she's just
seriously?
showing up for the public.
Yeah,
And no, I get it, and I see people are starting to fall into that whole trend. Just to show and make face, just for the public, because it just goes into that whole like that recent situation with the whole the pastor and the wife and ironing her husband's clothes to go see his side chick situation.
that's some
But it bleeds into that,
yeah. God bless.
what are we doing?
God bless her. She's the
Oh, wait a whoa,
wait a minute.
wait a minute.
Nah, didn't answer each his own.
No, she's not a saint. She's insane.
No, man,
We rearranging some letters. Okay,
yeah,
I need you to rearrange some
listen,
letters.
whatever floats her.
But hey, I mean, all we can do is pray for her, and
Exactly. That's it.
hopefully, you know, the right angels can touch her.
No, but but I think they're in a good space now. She said, right? I guess it took them a while, so
You said what?
they're in a good space though right now, right?
Moving on.
Yep.
Moving on. We're gonna go to the second question. Um, how has some of your past or present experiences tailored your acceptance or rejection to being vulnerable?
Oh man, I was scarred young, very young. Like, no, seriously. Yeah. Um, just just I can even think as young as I can think younger, but one that really
Mm,
stuck with me was me hanging in the house with mom one day,
yeah,
and I laid on her, and she was like, "What are you doing? Go outside." I'm like, "I'm chilling with you." She was like, "What are you, gay or something?"
yeah,
And I was like, "Wow." That was the last time I laid on that woman's lap. I was 12 or 13 or something like that. I said, "I'll never do this again." But it was just
yeah,
a situation where I felt like she used to always want me to be like, "Oh, come inside," whatever, right? And then the one
yeah,
time I
yeah,
was supposed to do it without her asking, it was just like I just slapped in her
yeah,
face. I was just like, "Never again, bro."
yeah,
So at that point, it kind of like created new boundaries or a new dynamic as far as like when it came to that, like affection. Um, but yeah, like even before that, I could just see like I've never really had someone who I could tell it all to as far as like growing up. Like we know everybody knew we was poor, but nobody knew to the what extent of how poor we were just because I knew it was like judgment and ridicule and You know what I mean? It was just I was
Yeah.
telling the other day, I was like, I was poor. Like, look at the TV guide and remember the TV guide and talk about it at school poor. Like, I was, I was clever, but as soon as
Yeah.
I asked Bart went to school and got in trouble, I don't know how he got in trouble. But
Ugh.
yeah, I just, I look back at it all and it honestly shaped me to,
Yeah.
I think it helped me to like communicate better because
Yeah.
I had to navigate in certain rooms and not
Yeah.
assume the role of the kid with less. So
Hmm.
I had to, like, enhance or massage other muscles.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think as an adult, it has somewhat helped and somewhat hurt just because I do not feel um, able to be as vulnerable as I would like to sometimes due to the exterior of what people see. They see the muscles and the tattoos and stuff, and it's just like, oh, he's a certain way. But I can't come off as just like, man, I just want to talk about, you know.
And I hate I hate that because that is the number one thing that people judge me for. Like my exterior, like the face, the physical, and they're just like you. And I'm just like, bro, I'm a softie.
No,
Like I just
literally,
want to talk. I'm really sweet, and it's just like
I think people,
I
that's the
just.
that's the first thing people talk to me about. Like I met a new a manager, my new
Yeah.
manager. Said blah blah blah. I'm such. He was like, yeah, I see you don't miss the gym. I want to be like, I ain't been in 2 weeks. It's like,
If you only knew, it's just the genetics, my boy.
but it
It's
was
really just the
yeah.
genetics.
He was trying to introduce me to somebody else. He was like, yeah, he be hitting that iron too. And I was like, bro, I'm just trying to stay awake. I'm tired.
Yeah.
But it's just, and that's
Yeah.
why that has made me like turned off to so many like situations. Not I don't mean like romantically. I just mean like period.
Yeah.
Just like as soon as somebody meet me, like first question, how many days you go to the gym? Here we go with this.
Yeah.
like, well, I want to work out with you. Here we go with this. Like, bro,
But
there's
that's
so
just your
many.
icebreaker.
No, it's not. That's lame to me, bro.
But
That's
I guess that's just to you, but I guess that's just how the way that they know how to they might be comfortable to break into you. Yeah, I know there's other facets and might be other ways to enter to you, but that may be their icebreaker to talk to you because that may be the only way that they think they can connect to you.
yeah, that's not connecting to me. Because at the end of the day, I've tried that. Like people be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I work out." I work out with them, or I do. Like be like, "Oh, let's
Yeah.
go to the gym."
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to go to the gym. Y'all want to talk for real. So why didn't you just tell me you wanted to talk about
Yeah.
sports or this or
Yeah.
that? You could have just cut the gym part out. You wasting my time at this point.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, that's just wild to me.
No,
Yeah,
I get it. Um, I guess our stuff is in line as well. Like my past experiences. Um, hold on.
yeah.
Hey,
We
the
got dogs.
dog.
We got dogs.
Get the
Everybody.
dog.
No, everybody know we got dogs. It's all good. You
No,
heard my.
but they know. Like I just need 1 hour. 1 hour.
Look at her.
1 hour. That's all I need. 1 hour.
Yeah, I
That's
feel it.
all I ask for. One
All right, all
the 24.
right. Yeah, but
1 hour. I think ours go the same as far as for that. Like my past experiences and one made my ability to be vulnerable, it made it longer for me to get there. Of
hmm
course, because the experiences and stuff, of course, with due process, of course that happens. But I'm still optimistic. Definitely still optimistic. Definitely still see it. Definitely still would love to be in that place. It's definitely still open to experiencing it. It's definitely still doing all of that. Have no problem going through the process and the rigmarole. Um,
For me,
Yes. I just need 1 hour. It can it wait? Can it wait? Is it dead? Is it dire? Are you dying? Just leave it up there. I'll figure it out. I just need 1 hour. Just 1 hour.
life with kids. But for me, it's just I don't know. It's created some form of isolation for me. Like I
Yeah.
choose. I'm very particular about where I go and who I spend my time with now. Like in every setting, because I understand what comes with a lot of that, and that's what really made me stop like going out. Stop like for the most part,
Yeah.
stop drinking. Made me stop drinking because when I go out and I'm drinking, every conversation is a good conversation. And it's just like, I'm super like
Yeah.
vulnerable as far as just like me talking. I'm talking about everything. You want to talk about that? Sure. Great topic. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. But it's just like the moment I really stop going out and drinking, it's just like I gained a clarity and
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. You ever felt like you've done done something so long but actually done nothing? Like, you know what I'm saying? You've been doing
Hmm.
like, and that's what I felt like. That's what I feel like when I'm going out. I feel like I've done so much but gained nothing, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, cut that out. Productivity's gonna shoot through the roof. So
Yeah.
that's the period I'm in right now because it doesn't do anything for me besides create fake connections and you know pointless.
I mean, you just in a different space.
I've
And that,
known that though. I've always
huh?
known. I've always known that, but I
Yeah.
just uh work it. I just work it to my advantage. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would make sure I got something out of the night. If it was, you know, a girl,
Yeah.
it was just have some fun or an experience or something like that. I
Yeah.
definitely on. But then it just got old because the fulfillment just went down. Like it wasn't as fulfilling. Like, it's just like when you do drugs. You never will
Yeah.
get high as your first time. So it was like, and I was going out a lot. So I would have to overcompensate so much just in order for me to be pleased with my choice of going out.
Yeah.
And I understand what comes with that. Like, it's a whole lot of leeches and a whole lot of people who knew what came with
Hmm.
me out. Like, it was like a free for all. Once I started going, that car
Yeah.
was on fire. Like, like, just leave it up there. Just leave it up there. Like, and it would be bad after. But
Of course. Of
yeah,
course.
so
They would take advantage of your vulnerability.
yeah, that's what I was saying, like stuff like that. And at the end of the day, I didn't care because I was doing well at the
Yeah.
time, and I was just like, this ain't hurt me. But it
Yeah.
was just I didn't care. But now that I have this like a different view of everything,
Yeah.
nah, rather buy dog toys. Like seriously,
No, I get it. I just, again, like I said, I'm still open to it. I just have a different lens. Um, my discernment is a lot sharpened.
uh
Because like I was telling you earlier in our, previous conversations from, weeks ago, you know, now that I'm older, the scars don't heal as when I was younger in my 20s. They're turning to fucking keloids.
got,
And and
got
and
yes.
they hurt. You remember it, and it don't heal as quickly. So, I try to keep myself away from situations that could potentially be hurtful, that could potentially be painful, and I know that they're going to come either way, but I
Mhm.
try to outweigh my risk and really be aware and present and be upfront and be transparent and be like, look, let's look, what is it? Lay everything on the table because I don't want to be blindsided. I don't want nobody else to be blindsided. I don't want nobody else time to be wasted. I don't want none of that. Like,
Yeah,
I want
I just don't have time for it no more.
no. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would rather if something if coming into that and being like vulnerable, everything to be upfront, and if it just organically doesn't work out, cool, whatever. But if we're trying to like pay with time and emotions and vulnerability, I rather want to know everything's upfront and honest and clear and concise. So it's just I can accept that better than it just being
Yeah.
like riddled with lies and inconsistencies and things of that nature.
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
I'm just so happy that my rebranding has been has the full rollout has happened. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
Yes.
and I'm being serious. Like my phone does not ring like as much as like the
Yeah.
same, and I'm okay with that. Like you know what I mean? Before,
Yeah.
like a whole lot of static calling my phone or just
Yeah.
I, that wouldn't be like it wouldn't benefit me in the long run. So that's why I'm just
Yeah.
happy. My new norm is something that is very you know helpful for me. It's very
That's
sustainable.
good.
Yeah,
That's
I just
good.
had to do that, but I had to like set clear boundaries for myself first, and then
Hmm.
when I did that, it just was more or less me sticking to that, and
Yeah.
honestly, be real enough to be like, "Yo, I'm not gonna go." Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though sometimes I would like still want to go,
Yeah.
and then once I look and see it online, I'll be like,
Hmm.
I nothing. You
Yeah.
know,
You don't even have the feeling to do it anymore because it
I,
just doesn't bring you any kind of joy or excitement or even like curiosity. You're
no,
like,
like.
it doesn't suit me.
If I could write a book and talk about the stuff, all that man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But it it's also like it also made me question why did I do all that stuff?
I
Like
mean,
what?
because it was during that time and it felt I mean, don't I mean, at that point you were younger, you were in a different time in life. I get it now. Hindsight is 2020. You're older, you're more mature. So yeah, and now you have a different understanding, of course. You
But
shouldn't have did it now.
you know how you just like you know how when you at first like when you know the light gonna turn red and you still go because you had a little bit of yellow.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was my 20s. Like it was like this light gonna turn red at any second. Go,
Yeah.
go. And it was just like it felt very rushed. I felt like I
Yeah.
through my 20s and it was just crazy, and now that I kind of breezed through the first half of my 30s and it's just like
Yeah.
dang, like what, I gained a lot and I lost a lot. I really didn't
Yeah.
lose a lot, actually. I missed a lot, I'd say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was that 2 degrees, 2 inches this way, 2 inches this way. Like I could, if I
Yeah.
went more to the right, I would have been a millionaire. Like I could have been something totally different,
Yeah.
but just the other way. So I just feel like, yeah, I don't feel like I lost anything, honestly. I just feel
Yeah.
like I missed out on a lot just due to the breezing through
Yeah.
aspect of, yeah. So, and that was part of the me not being vulnerable and then me being too vulnerable in certain situations. So yeah, it's just crazy. And and more people, I think, if they start to think about that, not dwell on the past or anything, I think about the why between the real why behind the
Yeah.
action, it'll gain some clarity, and you'll honestly like be able to sift through the nonsense or just the events, and that's how you honestly break a habit.
I mean, think people. I do think people think about the why, but people always sum it up to be like, "I'm just doing what I want to do." I think people just need to have some type of standard for themselves and actually set a boundary and hold themselves
Yeah,
accountable. They need to
but
set that early. Be like, "I'm not going to do this. This is my standard for myself, and this is my boundary for myself."
but
Cut
the
point. But they're not. They're young and they want to experience things, and they're like, "I'm finally an adult. I can do these things. I need to at least experience it once. So I'm going to go all out," which is
yeah.
okay. And I understand it. But sometimes once you get a taste of something, you you got to get it till you get disgusted with it.
No, but the crazy part is I think a person who doesn't have options like that struggles with something more
Mm,
because accessibility, like for me, I had access to a lot of stuff, so I was able to do a lot of stuff. It got to a point to where even the access wasn't enough for me, and I was just like, this ain't doing nothing for me. Like I can do this any
mhm,
day of the week, I can do that any day of the week, and
mhm.
the fulfillment was gone from. this or that. It was just like that's where the change came because it was just like I can continue to do this, but I'm sitting here bored. Like I'm drinking and I'm not even feeling drunk. I'm having sex and I'm not even enjoying it. Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
just like a thing to do. Like
Yeah.
shower, sex.
So was it more so just the lifestyle that you were bored with? Because now are you satisfied in your lifestyle now?
Yeah, and
Do you
so I honestly feel like if we want to tie it back into the vulnerability piece, I feel like I can truly be myself. Like I don't
Mhm.
be this or that. Like I don't have to be the D head. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that. I don't have to be the jerk. I don't have you know what I'm saying? I don't have
Mhm.
that person. Like you know what I mean? I don't have to be always on. That's what I'll say. I
Yeah.
don't have on always. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that was a lot for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was me authentically, but people
Yeah.
crave on version of me. And it was just like, once I realized that when I felt like, nah, I don't always want to be on. Because when I was chilling, so I was, what's wrong with you? I've heard people, somebody walked to me and said, tell me a joke. I lost my cool. I said, what?
I've,
Like,
I've had people tell me that too. Like they like me being funny and like when I'm like riled up and stuff
yeah,
like that, I can be funny. I can be, whatever. And it's just like I'm not like on command. Like when it's there, it's there. But I'm not I can't just turn it on.
yeah.
I'm in the moment, it happens.
You act like I was in my pocket and be like, I was working on this one last week.
Yeah, like I've been thinking about this. Let me open my notebook. Like, no,
Yeah, like, get away. But like, yeah, like seriously, that was like, I was like, dang, like, tell me a joke, like,
well, why'd you I mean, you had to get offended, but
nah, I was, it was one of them situations. I think I might have at the time too, and I was just like, what?
okay. Okay.
You know what
I
I'm
can
saying?
see that. I can see that. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was just a lot for me. Yeah,
Okay.
I was just like, all right, this is something new. But yeah, man.
Well, I'm glad that there was some growth there. I'm glad that you are, satisfied in the route that you've gone and, the lifestyle that you live now. And you got, a better grasp on your vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Thread
good.
count dog poop. That's my life right now. It's fun. What gets better than that? What's better than a good home good night? You go there and feel
No,
the
no, no. Hey, ain't nothing better than that, man. Ain't nothing better
you
than that.
feel the sheets that you're laying in. You know what I'm saying?
You
That's
said what?
you feel the sheets that you're laying in. Like, oh, these are gonna feel great tonight. You know, what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, trust me, I understand. I understand. I
oh
understand.
man,
Trust me.
we went to go see Sinners yesterday.
So I loved it.
Did you tell me, please? Because I don't see what people saw. I get it. What did you love about it? So I can tell you what I didn't love about it.
So one, I love the fact that um, one of the main beauties was a darker, bigger African American woman. I loved that.
Taking it from that lens. Okay, do your thing.
That was no, I really did appreciate that. I was just like,
Yeah.
because you don't see that. It's usually thin, beautiful, light skinned or white woman that is always the love interest. But of course, they always had to keep one there. So either
Oh, of
way, she was still around. You know.
course. With your meat, you gotta have vegetables. You
You said what?
with your meat, you gotta have vegetables. You know what I mean? It needs this balance here. So just saying, she,
I also love the diversity in the characters. I love that they used the real Indians. I loved that aspect as well.
ends.
Native Americans, no
It
disrespect to anybody. Native
was
Americans, I did love that. And the Irish, I love that they brought the Irish aspect into it.
on the river dancing. You saw that? He was like, I was
Yeah,
like,
that Asian lady pissed me off when
why?
because when she lost her husband, and then when she told him, "Y'all can come in," that man, I want to tell said you just have to wait till the sun came up. You just have to wait till the sun came up. They could have all just been fine.
She was worried about little Lisa.
She would have been dead anyway. Even if she would have been dead anyway. I appreciate it.
What you
I,
appreciate?
pre- I appreciate the girl was like, let me wash.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, remember we was talking about that with Game of Thrones? It's like all going on, and ain't nobody would take a bath yet. It was like, yeah. She said, I was like,
She said, let me wash. Brain's right. With everything going around, all everything going around, that's your first thing to think about. You a keeper. So no,
yeah.
I did all the spirituality, all the stuff. I did appreciate that. Of course, Michael B. Jordan played a amazing role. He did his roles that he played.
Hmm.
Um, I do think that it could have been a little bit more as far as for with Sammy. He did a really good job as this being his first film.
Hmm. Hmm.
I didn't expect him to be that good for
Hmm.
this being his first film, and then his voice and his
Hmm.
singing, that being his real voice.
He
I was
gave
like,
me
wow.
Aloe Black vibes. And you can tell everybody. It was like, look at
You stupid.
him.
I thought he did really, 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 really well in that. So I
Yeah.
like the movie overall. I did think that it could have been a little bit,
Do you
I
think
guess,
they
a deeper
do you
as
think
far
they
as for like,
achieved the same message without the vampires?
I think they could have. I think adding the vampire was a little whimsical.
Yeah, it was like Space Cowboys. I was like,
Yeah, it was a little whimsical. If they would have maybe,
I get it.
if
I
they
was,
would have did like maybe like a real creature or something like that was more relatable other than vampires.
or even if they could have just been demons, they could have
Yeah,
just
if they kept demons, because that's what I thought from the previews that they were, instead of
yeah.
like vampires, that would have even been because it would have tied into the whole spirituality thing.
That's where I went with it. But then I'm like, when they getting bit and everything else, I'm like, oh. And one bad thing that I do, like, it's not even a bad thing. One thing that I wish I would have done was not watching an IMAX. It was so loud. I was like, bro,
We had went to the theater
boom.
where the seats were moving, so it was like interactive, and so the
You was on a
seats
roller
would
coaster.
move,
You was on a roller
and I
coaster.
was just like, it was like distracting.
That's what I'm saying. The same
I was
thing.
like, I don't like all of this, and then the wind was blowing and the water was. I was just like, I just want to sit and watch the movie.
That's what I'm saying. I should have watched it in regular
Regular, degular, old
Dolby.
fashioned, maybe a luxury seat theater where I was sitting
Yeah,
back in the recliner or had a little martini.
no.
Something simple.
T was like, I don't understand them. It's like their accents a little too thick. I was laughing, but I do think it was cinema from a cinematography like cinematography standpoint. Like I think it was
Yeah.
great. I
Yeah.
think that it definitely told had a message, and I
Yeah.
definitely think that it was just like it was beautiful to see even that one main scene when they was in the barn, and then he was performing, Preacher Boy was performing.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it was dope. It was dope, and then it just the vampire stuff, the mixture of the vampire kind of lost me. It was like real Twilight-ish. I was like, all right,
Yeah. It was. Yeah. It had that little mix in there, and I was just like, okay.
yeah, but did you love it because it was black? Is that why you loved it? Because now I just heard four things of you saying like I didn't like this, I didn't like that, I didn't like that.
I liked it
Would you
because
watch it again?
I will watch it again so I can see the things that I missed because of the hype that it was brought up from it. So I
Gotcha.
like watching movies again because again we had all the hype brought up from the social media, all this other stuff. So I would definitely watch it again so I can see the things that I missed
Uh-huh.
Um, and watch it from a clear vision, like after the dust has settled, and I can, really, really see the things that I missed.
Yeah, I
But I
watch it.
did, I did like it.
I watch it one more time. I don't think it's
Yeah.
like a everybody. If it would have been like a yeah, no, yeah, it
Hmm.
was cool. I might wait for it to be on Max. That's,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that's what it is. I just wanted to get your view on that because
Yeah.
everybody I talked to like the best movie. I'm like, stop lying.
I don't think it's like the best, but it was a good
Yeah,
movie.
it was great message. White people take everything from us. I'm
I
like,
would say I would say honestly, if I'm being real, like I would say Wakanda was probably more in depth than that one.
oh, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
it was more action packed. It was more like,
Yeah, yeah.
this one was more of just like kind of, high profile actors, whatever this one. But I would say
I,
Wakanda was just more like consistency with like the action, consistency with storyline. This one
mm,
was kind of a little everywhere a little
I
bit
would
for me.
Creed with Jonathan Major. That one was that Creed 3 or 2. That was a
Hmm.
good. But I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'm not a hater. Ryan Coogler.
Hmm.
Happy for him.
Yeah.
$90 million
That
budget.
that freaking Oakland accent, thick.
You said, oh, his.
His Oakland accent, thick.
Yeah, I
I
used to
was
work with.
like,
Dad.
Jesus Christ,
I
that
used to work
accent.
with dad.
I know what to say with that Oakland accent. I was like, man.
I don't understand where it's from. Right, but whatever. Thank you.
Yeah. I when he talks, I was like, yeah, that's definitely
Yeah,
Oakland.
yeah.
For sure.
It's yeah. That's what we did the other day. It was cool.
Yeah. Okay.
What else do you want to? What else? Where else are we? Where are we at now?
We just there. I want to try to keep them, light, and save
Okay.
some for the next ones until we get
Okay.
into like um other topics. We got the rest of our lives to keep doing this. Ain't no
Go
rush.
change your shirt so we can do another one tonight.
I gotta go work out. I gotta go work out. No, I gotta work out before I get tired. So,
Okay. Well,
but yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Like we said, the email is Harrison and Han st@gmail.com. Please leave us notes, questions, critiques, all that good stuff. Leave us a note, comments on our Instagram or Facebook page, as well as on our YouTube page. We appreciate the love.